Hi there, Karen Flaherty from Living by Human Design. Happy New Year. Hope you've had a great holiday season and hope you've had a good start to the new year. Today we're going to be talking about the gate 54, which is the gate of ambition. Okay, so today we've got the Sun in Gate 54. It starts on January 5th and it goes until January 10th. And we've got the Earth in Gate 53, which is called beginnings. So this week our transit definition is continues to be the throat to the solar plexus. So again, everyone is going to have that throat energy and have the emotions that go with it because it's connected to the emotional solar plexus. It's that channel 3536, which is all about change and drama. And then at the beginning of the week, what we start with is a connection between the ajna and the throat as well, which is the 1156, and that's the channel of curiosity. And so we've got curiosity and we've got change, and we've got a lot of things percolating, let's say, over the next week or so. The that 1156 goes away in a few days, and then we're left with the throat and the solar plexus again being defined. And meanwhile, we've got retrograde planets in Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, and the nodes. Okay, so we've got the gate 54. It's all about ambition, drive. It's called drive or the marrying maiden in the original I Ching, and it's interaction in its mundane social context, but also one's mystical and cosmic relationships. So as I was, getting ready for this, I found that in the Gene Keys book, Richard Rudd refers to the gate 54 as the mystic gate, right? If people have this in their chart, especially in their sun, conscious sun, they tend to be very spiritual, and a lot of the greatest mystics have had this in their chart, usually pretty high up in the chart, like in their sun gate. So it can be mystical and cosmic relationships as well. So the incarnation crosses this week are the crosses of penetration, ambition, and cycles. And in quantum human design, it's called divine inspiration. And then the gate 53, the Earth is in the gate 53, and this is called beginnings. It's development or beginnings in the original I Ching. This is development as a structured progression that is both steadfast and enduring. So it's starting stuff, but starting projects, starting, a new relationship, starting things that are made to last, right? So starting with a good structure, a grounded structure, because this comes off the top of the root, right? It's starting with a grounded structure and making sure or wanting to continue, right, with this beginning of something. Sometimes they don't last, but the idea is that they would last. And in quantum human design, it's called starting. Okay, so we've got in the gene key 54, the shadow side, the lower side is called greed. And Richard reminds us that this lower side or shadow side is not supposed to be um, negative in any way. It's always there for a reason. But it is on the lower frequency, right? It's always at a lower frequency. And so here it's greed. In the repressive side or the fearful side, it's people who just give up, people who might have had that ambition early on, and then, after a bunch of failures, they just give up. And so they're unambitious. And then on the reactive side or the angry side, the more aggressive side, let's call it, or reactive side, as he calls it, they're greedy. And so the greed is there for a reason. If you studied, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we all need food and shelter and clothing, right? It's not, it's not rocket science. We all need these things. And so we tend to be ambitious in getting these things and finding these things and keeping them sustainable, right? So that so that we're not having a house, 1 month or 1 year and then homeless the next. That doesn't work for people. It needs to be sustainable. And same thing with food and clothing, right? We all need these basic things. And so, yes, we're supposed to be greedy of us, in a certain way. We're supposed to want and need these things. But once you have them, then that's when we move to the aspirational, right? The get where the gift is aspiration. And the aspiration here that he means is that we get past the point of needing our own personal stuff to keep going, to keep living, to be sustainable, and we can help, therefore, help others. It doesn't mean, it doesn't necessarily mean taking in a refugee or adopting an orphan. What it means is being a compelling communal understanding that everybody will have the basics, that everybody will have what they need, that some people will might have more than others. They might have a shiny new car, they might have the bigger bank account, they might have a bigger house, but in addition to those people having what they want, they also make sure that everybody else has what they want and need. And it's not a socialist concept, it's a communal concept. It's a communal knowing that everybody gets taken care of. And it's much more spiritual in the way it reacts and provides for not just our own family, our own community, but for as well for others. And then the CD is ascension. So on the chart or on the graphic, Richard says every single cell of our being has to become free before we can ascend fully. So we all have to know that we have what we need so that we can then ascend. He also says greed is an energy that will compromise its own integrity in a flash to get what it wants, and this is its downfall. So it's that going after things and wanting more and more and more that usually is the downfall of people, or and that may not be their downfall. They might be fine. They might have all that they need, and yet they're not happy, right? Or they're not fulfilled, or they're not feeling gratitude for what they do have. He also says the flow of prosperity is directly proportional to the flow of energy at all levels within your life, beginning with your own body. So, in other words, we have to take care of ourselves first. It's a very physical kind of energy, but on the upside, it can be very spiritual and mystical. And so, it's the way we can ascend fully and become who we're here to be. So, I hope you have a great week, and I will. And a good start to the new year. And whether it's ambitious or whether you're still in the planning mode, there's still time before the human design new year to get an understanding of what it is you want to accomplish this year or not. Right? You don't have to make any plans at all. That's up to you. But if you do want to, this is a good week to do it because it's a very ambitious energy kind of week. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.